This will be a very interesting conversation.
Best return that I've ever got is doing that.
Like the longer it stays in the box, you're not making any money. The only way you can really overcome it is just by jumping in and making those mistakes.
Don't make it overly complicated thinking that you need these crazy marketing strategies.
Like, I didn't know JPEGs, PNGs. I just wanted a hoodie. The first order just fell apart in the washing machine.
Master your craft. It's up to you how much you grow your own business.
I made like $5,000 in 1 month.
Once you get in, it's a good source of constant revenue.
You got a embroidery machine sitting in a box? Like, you afraid of money?
Open the box.
Every company needs shirts. Every company needs hats.
You guys heard it here first.
Hey, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that notification bell to always be notified whenever we drop a new video.
This will be a very interesting conversation about what are some of the things that they do and their process of getting to where they are today. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them just introduce themselves, what your business name is, as well as kind of what your business does currently.
I'm Patrice, and my business name is Craftable Things. I'm on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. I'm also a school teacher, so I have to organize a lot of my days just to make sure that everything gets handled from customers to students. So that's pretty much what I do. I do DTF, I do embroidery, which I absolutely love. I do all types of print methods, so my customers' needs are met.
I'm Jamillah. I'm from J Stewart's Laboratory. I'm pretty much a multi-hyphenate apparel decorator as well.
My name is Shawn. I'm with SC Shirts and Hoodies. Everything SC Shirts and Hoodies, Instagram, YouTube. I'm an entrepreneur, so my business went from the kitchen to 3,800 square foot location now.
A lot to talk about today and to try to pick your guys' brains, especially, you know, with a lot of people here at the show, either looking to start their first business, coming here to either scale their business. I'm sure you guys have some kind of experience doing, you know, each part of that process in each stage. So this question is really for all of you. How did you get started and come to know about the world of apparel decoration to even begin with, right? Was it at a trade show like this? Was it through social media? How did you get exposed and come to know the world of decorated apparel?
Well, I was exposed through social media. At first, it was maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. So I started YouTube and how to make a shirt, and then, you know, I saw some videos and things like that. And it really much just grew from there. You know, you start, when you type in how to make a shirt, you're gonna see the different ways how to do it. So then I saw embroidery, and I was like, oh man, I wanna learn how to do that too. And so it just kind of just grew from there.
Well, for me, it all started when I was in like 5th grade, and they had this stuff called puck paint. And so the puck paint, you could literally customize your shirts with it. And so that's where my love for customization of garments began. And of course, YouTube, TikTok, all of these different social media sites, you kind of get a bigger idea of what's really out there.
For me, it's a little bit different. I worked on the oil rigs. I just wanted a hoodie. My boss was cheap, didn't want to buy us a hoodie. So I was like, I seen a side hustle, like, I'm gonna make these hoodies and I'm gonna sell them to all these guys and take some of their money. And the first order just fell apart in the washing machine. Like, you know, it didn't go well. I didn't know about pressure. I didn't know about heat settings. That's how it started. And
yeah, and many times probably the demand that you see also comes from your own demand, right? Like you seeing that this is what I want, and then finding out that, wow, there's a whole industry that's behind this. So it seems like you started, Shawn, on the printing side and then went into embroidery, or?
Nah, so I started on the vinyl side. When I started, I didn't know anything, right? Like, I didn't know JPEGs, PNGs, vector. I didn't know nothing. I wasn't even thinking, to be honest. And it just kind of like, you know, I have an absurd amount of hunger, you know, in no matter what I do. So being like that, it kind of just grew and grew and grew. And then from vinyl, I think I did vinyl for a month and I was like, this is not for me. Like weeding, that it just, you know, like I bought a cheap vinyl machine where like you had to have the TV on 100 to overhear. So it was pretty bad. But then I made like $5,000 in 1 month. And instead of, you know, some people go spend the $5,000. And I just was like, I'm gonna go get me a DTG. And I came and bought a DTG. And then from there, I got a single head. And I pretty much had a whole print shop in my apartment, 1-bedroom apartment. And now it's, you know, it's where it's at now, so.
Right, okay. Well, one of the things I hear around a lot, just speaking with people at trade shows, online, you know, when we do the lives, they always ask about what's the learning curve, because as you know, this is not a trade or a skill that anyone's born with. It's acquiring that skill, and there obviously is a learning curve to it. How has each of your experience been climbing that learning curve, whether it's with on the printing side, vinyl, or even with embroidery, since all of you do embroidery on this panel. How has that learning curve been like? How did you go about it and get to where you are today?
So I'm a dive in headfirst kind of person. You know, like I can watch a video, you know, do the training for embroidery to get the gist of it, you know, learn what I need to learn. But honestly, the only way you can really overcome it is just by jumping in and making those mistakes.
You're dealing with a different type of challenge at different stages of the business, right? Maybe at
like
first,
you could get the digitized, like that's the beginning part of it. Like just get it familiar with the lingo. But then once you get that part, it's okay. Now it's like, how can I hoop hats a lot faster so that, you know, time is money.
Yeah.
So then you go through that learning curve. And then when you have learning curves of why is this, you know, nesting up? And then that's another learning curve. And then it's like the learning curves never stop. So it's being able to embrace the problems and try to figure out how well, you know, trying to embrace the problems to its fullest. Like the best lessons in life cost you money.
What I tell people all the time, you know, I have this saying that it's not plug and play, but it's not rocket science either. You know, there's always a solution, even in business, just in different stages of your business. What kind of problems you go through at that stage can all be tackled. Someone in the world has been through that exact same thing at some point. Information is so abundant nowadays that if you're willing to just do the research and learn about it and then go and implement, you know, that's how you kind of overcome a lot of those challenges. I also hear all the time that, you know, some people are so intimidated of, especially when they're starting out, that like a month or 3 years or 6 months later, their machine is still sitting in the box and they haven't taken it out. What's your advice to those that probably, you know, you might have had some of those thoughts right in the beginning, that same type of intimidation of the equipment? What's your advice to overcome that hurdle, you know, at least mentally, to be able to take that first step?
Open the box. That's literally the only way you're ever going to face that fear is just just open the box. Because I can consume all the information I want, but if I don't open the box and actually take the step, your anxiety is just going to get higher and higher and higher.
Like the longer it stays in the box, you're not making any money. So you're wasting your money with it being in the box, but also the fact that the time that it's spending in the box, you're also using up or wasting out your warranty. So when I talk to people, I tell them you're wasting time, not just because you're scared, but because you're wasting money. You're wasting the opportunity to contact the company if something's wrong, and to learn how to use your machine.
If you got a embroidery machine sitting in a box, like, you afraid of money? That's crazy to me. Honestly, I'm like, if you got an embroidery machine in a box in a closet, like, we need to have another conversation. You know what I mean? That's crazy, because that's just opportunities that you're missing. It's just money that you're like, you get into this business, obviously, like I got into it, it just keeps falling into my lap in different stages. So this was never my dream. I never wanted a clothing brand. I never wanted, like, I'd rather sell the shovel rather than dig for gold. And that's kind of like, that's my theory on stuff. You know what I mean? Like, because I could always sell shovels. I can't always sell a t-shirt. And that's just my view on the things, right? Like, I would rather have plenty of customers, like, let them go do the marketing. I'm not good at marketing, so let them go do it. Let them go hunt down the clients. And it goes through different stages, like, as an entrepreneur. Like, at first, you know, it's family and friends. Next, it's like the people you know. And eventually you just got to break away from all of them and just go hunt, you know? So if you got an embroidery in the box, like,
it's like getting the keys to a supercar, but then you don't know how to drive it. You gotta just learn how to drive manual, you know? And so that's, I think, you know, many first-time people getting into the industry, that is definitely a fear that I hear a lot of. Just either talking to people, you know, on our social media channels, or talking to people at actual events. They sometimes, you know, voice that fear. And really, the best thing that I can tell them is just, you know, we provide already all the resources and training for you to take advantage of. Just schedule it and jump into it. And then any problems that you'll find along the way can all be solved. There's never been really a problem that you can't solve. But speaking of marketing and how you guys started, maybe this is a good segue to transition into that. In that, you know, as you start your business, Shawn, you mentioned, you know, starting maybe with friends and family. What has been that process to build your clientele starting from scratch? That's also a big question that a lot of people ask, because they don't know where to even start. I don't know anyone that needs t-shirts. How do I start?
So for me, it's just word of mouth. Like, I built my whole business off word of mouth. Like, I focus on the relationships of the clients. Like, I take responsibility when something goes wrong, and when there's a problem, I jump in front of the problem. Because if you're avoiding the problem and the client's calling you and you're not answering, they're pissed. That one bad Google review could ruin you. Like, people don't understand how important it is to have a relationship with your clients. When you call me, you're getting that relationship. I'm gonna answer the phone. I know your name. I know your order. I intimately know what type of things you like, what you expect, what you don't expect. And it's just, for me, that type of marketing, I'm not good with social media. So that type of marketing, word of mouth, has made me millions.
For me, I would say something is like maybe a hobby that you're into.
Okay.
For instance, my daughter is on the cheer team. So I would make her I'm making her, like cute cheer shirts or bows or, like things like that. And then it's going to get the other people talking like, okay, where'd you get that? And then she can say, I always tell her, don't say my mom, just be like, I got it from here.
Okay.
Personal relationship or, whatever. Some people might want to, support the mom or whatnot. But yeah, maybe if you have a hobby, that you're into and just start going around those people who are into those things as well, and it's going to strike up a conversation, so that's a great way, if you're just getting started and you want to trying to do your marketing, that could be a great gateway for you.
My family and friends, I started with them because I didn't really intentionally start on this journey. It's just something that I love to do as a hobby. And so once I saw that there was a demand for it, that's where I kind of started to expand a little bit. And so also I wear things to work. So working in a school, it's so much money inside of schools. They need shirts for everything, every single year, every single club, every single department. And so working in a school, I get a lot of business from my school myself, from all of the departments and the clubs, the sports teams, that it's hard for me to get business elsewhere. That's how much money I make from just that. So wear your own merchandise, word of mouth, let family and friends. Sometimes it's gonna cost you. Advertising anything, sometimes it will cost you. So give a free shirt to a company or to people who work in that company.
And with schools especially, it's like recurring, right? So the same clubs, the same sports teams, they need like a different theme or different design every single year. And then you always got new people coming into the school, so it's a constant recurring revenue. That's what I hear a lot from people that focus on schools. It's like once you get in, it's a good source of constant revenue to keep it going. So some of the things that you guys have said kind of resonates with some of the things that I tell people, is that probably just the first thing to do is look around at your friends and family and pick up what I call the low-hanging fruit of just asking, hey, do you know someone, or maybe even them, needs some shirts for a school? It's asking someone if they know someone. I'm sure you can, just from that, find someone to get started with, no?
But I think it's even easier than that. Most people that have a job. They go clock in 9 to 5. Nothing against it, because I'm like 16, 18-hour days. So I clock in my own shop. So like everybody has a job. Like every company you see is money. Every company needs shirts. Every company needs hats. And sometimes it takes doing stuff for free. Sometimes you got to, print samples, embroider hats, embroider shirts, go take them to companies. Like there's a million ways to market.
Yeah. And I think some people are either maybe too intimidated by doing that. It's like, they don't feel comfortable doing that.
Like one of the best marketing things that's helped me is like, if a company orders 50 shirts, a hoodie's $10. I just
throw in a hoodie.
Like, for schools, right? Like I've made so much money off of schools. There's always a principal, there's always a vice principal. They order 100 shirts, I throw in 2 hoodies. Because once they're wearing the hoodies, everybody's asking me like, hey, where's my hoodie? And then, hey, man, come on.
I need 100 hoodies.
Then I got to call back.
So you guys heard it here first. I mean, that's a good hack to do, right?
All the time. And that's the best return that I've ever got, is doing that.
Wow, awesome. And I think people do that when they're crossing over into different decoration methods too. So like if you started with screen printing or printing in general, and now you got into embroidery, literally when you fill out like an order of 100 shirts, throw in a couple of embroidered hats. Now your customers know that you also can embroider hats. Then when they get it, it's not only a surprise of like and a thank you for that order. Now you also plant the seed in their mind that they can also order hats from you. I think marketing and sales, when you break it down to the most fundamental level, it's just about willing to go out there and speak to customers. Don't make it overly complicated thinking that you need these crazy marketing strategies to get started, right? You can do that at any point to scale, but really it's taking the chance to go and talk to even friends and family or anybody that has a business that has a need for decorated apparel. Do you guys think that the demand for decorated apparel, I mean, it's just seeing the volume of traffic at the show alone, I think starting out in 2024, it's always something that's going to be around and it's never going to slow down. Is that something that you guys see?
I feel like before it was so like maybe gate kept, But like shows like this make it a little more accessible.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and start in your kitchen and, you know, like scale up or whatnot like that.
Okay. Oh yeah, transitioning to kind of what you guys do on social media. You know, all of you have a YouTube channel, you know, post about your experience and your process, you know, in your journey. What are some of the most frequent questions that you get asked from your viewers, or just people that you talk to that also want to get into the business?
A lot of them want to know the bottom line, like how much do you make?
What's your answer to that? Is it lucrative? Is it worth it?
If you put in the work, then you like how he says, yeah, giving away a shirt is going to cost you money, but how much money are you going to make giving away that shirt, giving away that hoodie for others to see it? Because that's marketing, that's advertising. So I explained that to them, like, it's up to you how much you grow your own business.
I agree with Patrice. It's a lot of, well, what's the difference between this and that? Or can I use this to do that?
The problem with social media is a lot of people only show the successes, you know, and a lot of people tell me I'm lucky. But it's like, bro, I'm working 18-hour days. Like I'm up at 3 in the morning, going to sleep at 11 every day, consistently, continuously. Like you could be good, you could have deals, you can have the best digitizer, you can have the best clients, you can have a $3 million a year client. But if you don't put in the work, like you can't cheat the grind. You just have to put in the work. Like honestly, it doesn't matter how good you are, what connections you have, who you know. Like if you ain't willing to put in the work, then honestly, it's not gonna succeed.
I resonate a lot with that in terms of running a company, running a business. I think also that's what keeps it fun. If you're really someone that, you know, just likes and enjoys the process, I think the process is way more interesting than the end result. You having gone through that experience will teach you way more than just handing you the end results of a success or failure. All right. Well, I think we'll kind of end this conversation with one key takeaway that all of you would tell the audience, anybody that's watching, either if they're watching this on YouTube later, one key takeaway of what they should think about, you know, in any stage of their business, whether it's starting out, whether it's, you know, like Shawn, you're at kind of in this growth phase with the 8 head and all these printers. What is one thing that you'll tell them to help them along their journey?
I mean, there's a couple things. You have to put in the work. That's number one.
I would say master your craft.
So you want to have a mindset where you're willing to learn continuously. Don't think that you know everything.
Great. Well, I will leave you guys with this, hearing what some of these guys said about, you know, the key takeaway that you can think about to help your business grow to the next level. I would say that I tell my guys this all the time in our company. You know, what you said about making sure that you master your craft, move on. You know, make sure you master it and then move on to the next thing. I think people, especially maybe at events like this, might have that like shiny objects syndrome. You know, they see the latest thing, they see the, you know, this and that, but then a bunch of half-built bridges aren't gonna get you from point A to point B. You just need to do one thing and do that completely, so you start to reap the benefits of it. So I'll leave you guys with that. Make sure you don't have that shiny object syndrome, but actually try to master one thing, do that well, and then continue to build full bridges, and that's how your business grows. Don't build half-built bridges, all right? So with that said, thank you guys so much for joining us and taking the time. I hope that this was helpful for all of you, and we'll see you around in future shows, hopefully. All right? Thank you so much.
Wow, what an informative talk. I hope you guys took some notes because there were so many valuable jewels and key takeaways in there. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel to keep seeing more videos like this, and we'll see you guys in our next one.